So we exit the deluxe class for Transformers Legacy and now enter that of the Voyager class price point. So we had a little bit of G1 with Alita. We had a little bit of Beast Wars with Tarantulas. We had a little bit of Transformers Prime with Knockout. We have a little bit of Shattered Glass that's going to be coming soon later today to talk about. Heck, we have even a little bit of pre-G1 with a certain Siege repack that maybe we'll talk about just briefly. So how about some Generation 2 to really round out the legacy of Transformers and all the different brands? So let's do that with Transformers Legacy, Voyager class, Jhiaxus, the big bad of the Generation 2 line. It's first time to get a decent toy in his iteration. He's had a few toys throughout the years, and all of them have been quite garish compared to what his true garish G2 colors could have been. So let's jump into that. This one was designed by Yuya-san, and Yuya-san was basing it off of concept design art by Dan Kahana. Dan Kahana drew some of the very first official, I guess, modern era Jhiaxus art back in the day with the Transformers Genesis art book. It was the art of Transformers. And it's kind of really based on that one. Obviously, Manny Gallen, who did the old G2 issues that had Jhiaxus in them, he was the first one to draw Jhiaxus, and we're also pulling from Manny's design back in the day. But not when we're talking the alt mode, because a big fear that I had, at least, and a lot of other people, was if you look at Jhiaxus's alt mode back in the day, especially even when they did the Transformers Regeneration book with Simon Furman not too long ago at IDW, basing it off of Manny's alt mode, he kind of looked like if you took Scourge, like literally that alt mode of Scourge, the sweep, and added some wings on the side. Bat wings in Manny's version and traditional wings in a traditional kind of basic kind of airplane wing in the Regeneration version. I'll include little thumbnails of both there just to give you an idea. And I was worried that they were going to try to glue on or retool on some terrible wings onto it and just try to figure out a way to use that Voyager class Scourge. That was my fear, just based on what historically that alt mode looked like throughout the years. I am so happy to be wrong. I am so happy that they just went about going, you know what, we're going to make the most perfect, transformation of his robot mode, because 99% of his appearances in fiction have been in his robot mode, and the alt mode is literally an afterthought. And just do that perfect, that iteration of that robot mode, colors, the little aesthetics, the veneering, the weapons, and everything like that. And then we'll try to work out an alt mode that channels the colors and concepts of Manny Gallen's original design. And then, of course, the Simon Furman one used later with Regeneration. So it's a brand new mold. It's not a retool. It's something made from the ground up. It's got a beautiful G2 logo right on his chest to really, emphasize that G2 Decepticon logo, the next generation, because his character, I don't want to spoil too much, go back in time and read those books. They are amazing by Simon, the G2 books. He's kind of the next generation of Decepticons, and he sees Megatron and as the others as the old garbage. And he looks great, man. He's got all his colors from that old design, that garish green, that garish yellow, that red, everything is there. And the head sculpt is dead on. It's got his little shoulder weapon that existed also on the original design. I love what I see here. He is another one too. Him and Tarantulas are the ones that intrigue me the most because, and especially in the case of Jhiaxus, because he just never got a good toy. I remember when they did that retool of Armada Starscream, the deluxe one that was in hot orange, which was like a double homage. The new head sculpt is the G2 toy. The hot orange is because of the RED repaint from Jetstorm. It gets a little convoluted, but the point is that he just never got a decent figure based off of that G2 iteration. And now we finally have it. Not even like a statue or like a little PVC, nothing. So this is going to be a very important release. Who knows when they're going to revisit this character again, but now we have his definitive version in terms of from the papers to plastic. And he looks great. He looks great. In terms of the fine details, they put the little bat wings on his lower legs, because he kind of had like bat wings in the alt mode in the G2 books, and then he had traditional wings in the regeneration book. So they kind of found a happy medium where the alt mode will have the normal wings, but he'll still have the bat wings on the lower ones. And those bat wings also come from the original design back in the day in the comic books. So there's so much going on here. The weapons, one of the weapons specifically, Mark points out that the weapon is painted and it has some weathering on it to kind of really give that gritty 90s G2 kind of look. And it's a machine gun, which if you looked at like any of the Autobots or Decepticons and the guns they were wielding in the G2 comic books, they had a very like, machine guns and bandoliers. It was very 90s gritty. So fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love it a lot. This is another one that for sure top of the list for me along with Tarantulas in terms of this is what you need to be excited about. Now, let's talk about something else, the elephant in the room, because he's been tied to Armada Starscream in retools and everything like that. And there's people that are looking at this mold and going, there's a potential that this could be repainted and retooled extensively into the Armada Starscream that we're expecting in Wave 3 of Legacy. And people are also seeing how, he has these plug-in things on his shoulders. That could potentially be Armada Starscream's, null ray shoulder cannons. The way that his wings kind of fold up could also be fold out or become like a sword kind of weapon. I guess I don't really see it too much, but I mean, considering how good they've been doing with the retooling recently, anything is possible. I want to believe that the Armada Starscream that we will get in Wave 3 will be its own mold, because that way, if it's true to the original Armada design, that old Aaron Archer kind of style, then look at all the Seeker repaints you could get from that afterwards. You're going to get the Thundercrackers. You could retool it again and get the Sky Warp out of it with the single Mohawk. You're going to get all the other repaints you could do. And just, I mean, for them to kind of lean into Jhiaxus, I don't think so. I think that you could do other stuff with Jhiaxus. You could have some fun and maybe revisit Sentinel Prime and use this character as a foundation for that. There's a few others that you could do. Ancient Transformers, Ancient Cybertronians with his very Cybertronian G2 feel. I love it a lot, though. I think it looks great, and he's for sure going to be one I'm going to pick up. No question. No question at all. Again, they're all live right now. Right now, as of this recording, it is past 2 o'clock. So if you're interested in getting these before they sell out, check out Hasbro Pulse. They're going to be showing up on Amazon also and other distributors and partners. So get this stuff while you can, because it sells out like mad in the first couple of weeks. Exciting stuff. We still have more to come. Isn't this crazy? What a crazy Tuesday. Way more to come. See you soon.